Hi, this is Russ Farnsworth for PoliceStateVictims.com. I wanted to do a few short videos about our founding documents, and I'm going to start with the Declaration of Independence. Um, in my understanding of our founding documents, the Declaration of Independence defines and describes our nation, while the Constitution defines and describes our government. I think it's really important to clarify some things regarding this because there's a bit of a debate going on about whether the United States is a democracy or a republic. And there are clues in these documents that will reveal the actual truth about that. And I think it's a very important discussion to have because I believe that the people who want to convince others that the United States is a republic and not a democracy want to convince people that they cannot effectuate change in their country unless they do it through the republic. Meaning that if you want to have a revolution against your own government, you would have to, I guess, petition your representatives in Congress to pass some type of a resolution that will allow the people to revolt against the government. And that's not true, stated here in the Declaration of Independence. So let's talk about the most important things that are in the Declaration of Independence. This is where we get this phrase, all men are created equal, extremely important. Today, we would include women in that and say that all people are created equal and that their rights are inalienable. Back in the day when the Constitution was written, the prefix UN was a lot more common in many circles. Today we use the prefix IN and say inalienable rather than unalienable. And if you're a little bit confused about this term, inalienable, think about what it means to alienate something. So if you were to alienate a person from their family, it would mean that you cut them off from their family. You separated them and broke all connections to their family. This is saying that our rights cannot be separated from our physical bodies, that our people have rights that cannot be separated from the person. So our rights and our bodies are a single inseparable unit. And another extremely important clause in the Constitution says that the governments exist and draw their authority from the consent of the governed. So if people are unhappy with their government, if the government is not responding to the needs of the people and addressing those needs, then the government is no longer legitimate, and that the people then have the right to alter or abolish the government. So here it talks about a long train of abuses and usurpations. These are abuses of the government committed against the people. And if you're unfamiliar with the term usurpations, you can think of it as the taking of something. So if the government was to seize your property, that's a usurpation. But the term usurpation mostly refers to the taking of rights or sovereignty or power. If you think about a foreign country occupying another country and taking over and establishing their governments within that foreign country, that's a usurpation. And when that happens, this Declaration of Independence says that it is the right of the people and their duty to throw off such a government. Much of the rest of the Declaration of Independence talks about the long train of abuses and usurpations that King George had committed against the colonies. And it says then that we, the colonies, therefore publish and declare that these united colonies are of right and ought to be free and independent states. So this is their declaration that they are no longer part of England, but are now a free and independent nation. Of course, We then had to fight a revolutionary war with England to establish that and seal our own sovereignty. But we declared ourselves to be independent and then later achieved that independence. And this document then shows all of the signatories, the signers of the Declaration. And John Hancock is here at the top. For those who do not understand the significance of John Hancock and all of these signers of the Declaration of Independence, I want to state that this document was considered treason because the colonies wanted to abolish their government, which was the government of England, and create their own government in their own country. Doing that was considered treason, and so anybody who signed this document was vulnerable to being captured and hung for treason. John Hancock added his signature very large and very legibly on the document in defiance of England and in support of this new and burgeoning country that he had hoped with the rest of the signatories to establish going forward. And then, of course, we all know that the country was successful in breaking away from England and establishing its own independent nation. For PoliceStateVictims.com, this is Russ Farnsworth.